My name is Anna Bogac and I'm representing the University of Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński from Poland. Today, I'm going to present Module 4 of the Kidswell project. This module focuses on how to teach and support ADHD students in mainstream schools. The goal is to help educators to create a more inclusive learning environment for all children. In this module, we will focus on practical strategies that teachers can use to support children with ADHD in mainstream classrooms. We will look at how to adapt teaching methods to better meet their needs, how to structure lessons in a clear and engaging way, and how to create a more inclusive and supportive learning environment. We will also explore practical applications to support different learning styles and ways to foster students' social and emotional development. Now, I will briefly introduce ADHD, which stands from Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It is a neurodevelopment condition that affects how students focus, behave, and regulate their energy levels. There are three main characteristics of ADHD. The first is inattention, which means difficulty focusing and being easily distracted. The second is impulsivity, such as acting without thinking or interrupting others. The third is hyperactivity, which includes extensive movement and difficulty staying seated. It's important to remember that symptoms can vary between students and may change depending on the environment. That's why understanding ADHD is essential for adopting teaching methods and supporting students effectively. Let's now focus on some common classroom challenges faced by students with ADHD. These challenges can affect both their learning and their social interactions. For example, students with ADHD may have difficulty completing tasks on time, or they may show impulsive or disruptive behaviors during lessons. They can also struggle with following instructions, especially when they are complex or given all at once. In addition, many students with ADHD experiences challenges in peer relationships and teamwork, which can impact group activities and classroom dynamics. Recognizing these difficulties is very important because it allows teachers to adjust their teaching approach and better support these students. Next, we need to look at how creating a structured classroom environment can support students with ADHD. A well-organized space helps them stay focused and better regulate their behavior. There are several effective strategies teachers can use. For example, seating arrangements can make a big difference. Placing students closer to the teacher or away from distractions can improve attention. Visual cues are also very helpful. Things like charts, timers, or color-coded materials can make instructions clearer and easier to follow. In addition, having a clear routines and predictable schedules helps students feel more secure and understand what to do next. It's also important to minimize distractions by keeping the classroom organized and reduce unnecessary noise. These kinds of environmental adjustments can significantly support both attention and behavior management. As a practical tip, teachers can use a visual timer to show how long a task will take and when transition will happen. It's also helpful to have a consistent daily schedule displayed in the classroom. Now, we focus on lesson planning and how it can be adapted to support students with ADHD. One important strategy is to chunk tasks, which means breaking down larger assignments into smaller, more manageable steps. This helps students stay focused and reduce feelings of being overwhelmed. Another effective approach is multisensory teaching. By combining visual, auditory, and kinesthetic elements, we can engage different learning styles and keeps students more interested in the lesson. Flexible pacing is also important. Students with ADHD often benefit from short movement breaks or having extra time to complete tasks. In addition, differentiated instructions allows teachers to adjust tasks based on each student's abilities and needs, making learning more accessible. All of these strategies help students with ADHD stay engaged and successfully complete their work. Effective teaching strategies can make a big difference for students with ADHD. First, it's important to give clear instructions, ideally one step at a time. This helps students avoid confusion and stay on track. Using visual aids and examples can also support understanding, especially when instructions are difficult to follow verbally. It's also helpful to actively engage students through hands-on activities or group work, so they are not just passively listening. Another key strategy is to frequently check for understanding, for example by asking students to repeat instructions in their own words. Incorporating interactive elements like quizzes, polls, or short games can also help maintain attention and motivation. The main goal is to keep students engaged while reducing frustration. A useful tip is to keep instructions simple and positive, and avoid long verbal explanations, which can be harder for students with ADHD to process. Behavior management is especially important for students with ADHD, and it works best when it's predictable and consistent. One effective strategy is positive reinforcement. It's important to praise not just the final result, but also students' effort, persistence, and strategies. For example, saying, "I like how you keep trying," even when it was difficult. Token system or reward chart can also be helpful. Students can earn points, stickers, or tokens for completing tasks or showing positive behavior, and later exchange them for small rewards. Clear rules and expectations should always be visible in the classroom. Using posters or visual reminders helps students stay on track and understand what is expected for them. Another key element is immediate feedback. It's important to respond to behavior calmly and right away, because delays can make the response less effective. At the same time, it's best to avoid hard punishment, as it can increase frustration and anxiety. Instead, the focus should be on teaching appropriate behaviors. Supporting attention and self-regulation is a key when working with students with ADHD. One helpful strategy is using visual timers. These show students how much time they have left for a task, which makes it easier for them to stay focused and manage their time. Movement breaks are also very important. Short, structured breaks, like stretching or a quick walk, can help students release energy and become more focused. Teachers can also use attention cues, such as hand signals, a bell, or simple phrases like "stop and think," to gently bring students' focus back to the task. Another useful approach is teaching self-monitoring. Students can track their own behavior or progress using tools like checklists or simple charts. This helps them become more aware and independent. It's also important to help students understand their own attention patterns. For example, when they focus best and what distracts them. This allows you to plan strategies together. Finally, modeling self-regulation is very powerful. When teachers stay calm, students learn to do the same by observing that behavior. ADHD can also affect how students interact with their peers. Some students may struggle with impulse control, understanding social rules, or managing their emotions in social situations. Because of this, it's important for educators to actively support social learning and help students build positive relationships and emotional skills. These are several strategies that can help with this. Encouraging cooperative learning and structured group work gives students clear roles and expectations, which make social interaction easier to manage. Teachers can also model positive social behavior so students can see how respectful communication and cooperation look in practice. Another important approach is teaching problem-solving and conflict resolution strategies so students know what to do when disagreement happens. Providing feedback on social interaction is also helpful, praising positive efforts and gently guiding improvements when needed. The overall goal is to foster strong peer relationships and develop emotional intelligence. Collaboration with parents plays a very important role in supporting students with ADHD. When home and school work together, students are more likely to succeed academically, socially, and behaviorally. One key strategy is maintaining regular communication. This can include weekly email updates, short phone calls, or using classroom apps to share progress, behavior, and achievements. It's also important to share classroom strategies with parents so they can reinforce that at home. For example, if we use a token system in class, parents might use a similar reward chart for homework or daily routines. Another useful approach is collaborating on individualized behavior plans. This means working together with parents to set realistic goals, define rewards, and agree on strategies that support the student's specific needs. For example, a goal might be completing assignments with fewer prompts and then tracking progress together. It's also helpful to communicate about challenging tasks before, during, and after they happen to ensure consistency and reflection. The main goal is to ensure consistency between home and school, which helps reinforce learning, reduce frustration, and improves behavior outcomes. Collaboration with specialists is essential to ensure that support for students with ADHD is evidence-based, consistent, and tailored to their individual needs. One important strategy is working closely with relevant professionals, such as special education needs coordinators, school psychologists, occupational therapists, or speech therapists. Regular check-ins can be used to review students' progress and discuss any concerns. It's also important to use individualized plans. These plans may include specific classroom accommodations, such as extra time for tasks or preferential seating, depending on the student's needs. Another key element is sharing observations and progress data from the classroom. This can include notes on behavior, task completion, or social interactions, as well as response to specific interventions. Based on this information, interventions can be adjusted collaboratively. For example, if a token system is not effective, the team may try alternatives, like a visual schedule or movement breaks. The main goal is to ensure consistency across home, school, and therapy settings, which maximize support for students. Technology can be a very helpful support tool for students with ADHD, especially when it comes to focus, organization, and engagement. One useful tool is the digital timers, which helps students manage their time and understand how long they have for the task. There are also many apps designed to support attention and self-regulation, such as focus timers or reminder apps, which can help students stay on track and remember important tasks. Interactive tools like smartboards or online learning platforms can also make lessons more engaging by supporting multisensory learning. In addition, digital tools can be used for progress tracking and communication with parents, making it easier to share updates and monitor development. Overall, technology doesn't replace traditional teaching strategies, but it works alongside them to increase engagement and support learning. To sum up, here are the key takeaways from this module. Students with ADHD benefits most from structured, predictable, and engaging classroom environments. We have seen how carefully lesson planning, effective behavior management, and attention support strategies can significantly improve focus and learning outcomes. We also explored how developing social skills and encouraging peer collaboration can support emotional intelligence and help students build positive relationships. In addition, collaboration with parents and specialists is essential to ensure consistent and effective support across all environments. Finally, technology tools can be helpful counterpart to traditional teaching strategies, further increasing engagement and organization. These are the main references and resources used in this module. They include key books and research studies on ADHD, as well as a practical toolkits and multimedia materials. They can be useful if you want to explore the topic further and find more detailed strategies for your classroom practices. Thank you for your attention. If you want to know more about Kidswell project, please visit us in our social media and in our website. Thank you and goodbye.